Father, you have to forgive me. I won't be able to serve on the altar with you tonight. This is what I told Father Tanner when I was experiencing some pretty gnarly stomach issues at a community church event. I was feeling crazy nauseous, and when you're serving on the altar, you have this really heavy robe on, and that combination just didn't seem very favorable to me. So I told Father, I'm like, hey, I can't help you out. I can't serve on the altar. And this made me really sad because I had a role to fill at this event because everybody on this team had a role to fill. So despite these physical challenges, I rose to the occasion, found a new role, filled it well, and on February 20th, I was at my best. Okay, so first I'm going to explain what this event is, what this community event is. It's run by this group called CORE. I'm a part of it. It's a Catholic youth group that meets one Sunday a month. And the main goal of this group is to serve and to serve the community. We do this through 2 core nights a year. And this is the second core night of that year. And everybody on this group of roughly 40 people has a job to fill, minus the altar serve, as I said. And I couldn't do that, so I had to find a new one. So I go to the director, Luke, and Luke says to me, Isaac, I'm sorry to hear that this is going on, but you need to find something else. So just go back to Father Tanner, ask him what you can do to help. Obviously, don't go on the altar when the service happens, but see what you can do. So I go up to Father Tanner. He says, just keep helping me, set up the candles, set up this, and just give him whatever he needs for the service. So I did that. And when I tell you these tiny little candles, I did not realize how many we had, but I swear it's hundreds. And we just spread them across the entire church. And this kind of required a little bit of creativity, right? Because you want the lighting to be just perfect. And so I put them in between pillars and on the altar and kind of off to the sides. And by the time it was done, I was really proud of myself because it looked good. And if I do a job and it doesn't look good or doesn't feel good after, it's basically not working the job. So that was my first thing that I did and my first task that I completed. After that, I had nothing to do. So I didn't just sit around. I went back to Luke and I was like, hey, you got anything else for me to do? So my second task was to set up 8 confessionals. And how a confessional works is it's a place where someone can go to a priest and confess their sins. And that requires 3 chairs. One for the priest, one for the person talking, and in case they don't want to see the priest face to face, because it might be easier for them that way, there's a divider in another chair. So I had to get 3 chairs for 8 confessionals, so that's 24 chairs. And those are easy to come by in a church. We had this whole backup church underneath in a basement, and I have screamed down there a couple times. It's very scary, and there's no lights. It's, rather terrifying. But I found a ton of chairs, brought them all up, got it all set up. Now the dividers were a completely different issue. We don't have any of those just on stock, in the church. So I got creative, went to the Sunday school room to start with, got this giant paper hang up, and it wasn't see-through, so I called it good. And then I found a couple other banners and other things, and it looked a little janky, I won't lie, but I made do with what I had, and I thought that was another good skill that I showed. Okay, lastly, I was introduced to the entertainment for the night, which was a Christian rap artist. To start off with, I don't listen to Christian rap. I wasn't really understanding how this guy was going to be. It was kind of an odd thing to be introduced to him in the first place because no one else on this team of 40 was being introduced to him. And so I shook his hand. He said, my name's Connor. I'm like, my name's Isaac. And Luke said, Connor, Isaac is your MC and intro guy for the night. And I was like, what does that mean? You can't just tell me that in front of the guy. And so I went and talked to him after. I'm like, Luke, what does this mean? And he hands me a mic and he says, you're just going to get on stage and you're going to get this crowd ready for this guy to perform. And I'm like, interesting. Okay, let's see what I can do here. And I had another little interesting thing with my stomach and kind of shook that off, got some water in me, relaxed a little bit, and I saw the crowd start to file in from the church. I mean, there was at least 200 people there, and they all filled into this kind of social gathering area. And I grabbed the mic, run up to the stage, jump on the stage with as much athleticism as I can muster at that moment. And I land on the stage, and I shout something, I think, into the mic, and the crowd responded. So it must have been good. And I introduced Connor Flanagan, was his name, and he runs up on stage the same way that I did, and he just absolutely rocks it. It was just, the energy was amazing, the night was awesome, And I just really thought that I stepped out of my comfort zone there. Being loud is not really my forte. Being on stage with the mic in my hand isn't really my thing. But I felt like I did well, and I made myself a valuable member of my team. Okay. Despite these physical challenges that I had, I made the most of my opportunities, and I thought that I was at my best. My name is Isaac Elwell, and thank you for listening to my speech.